Good morning from Salzburg, Austria. We're beginning the day with breakfast at the historic Altstadt Hotel Kaiserbrau, a hotel whose roots stretch back hundreds of years in Salzburg's old town. Outside, snowflakes are beginning to drift gently through the air, creating the perfect backdrop for a day of exploring one of Europe's most beautiful cities during the Christmas season. Here we are in Salzburg, Austria. We arrived last night, had a nice evening out, checked out their Christmas markets, walked around the town, had a lovely breakfast at the hotel this morning, and it is big time snowing now, as if you can't tell. It's very exciting.
It's a real Christmas miracle.
I gotta blink away the snowflakes, but yay, Salzburg, snow. It's a beautiful European Christmas. And we're just gonna walk all around. We walked all around last night. We're gonna walk all around again today and see everything again in the daylight with the snow.
She's way too enthused.
I am so excited because it's the kind of snow you want, right? It's huge, fluffy flakes, but it's not like wet nastiness. Lovely. Listen to the bells. Almost 9 o'clock. See Salzburg Dome, Cathedral on the left. And here it is. You're in the Mozart Platz. We were here last night. Skating rink is behind me. As the morning snowfall continues, we arrive at the heart of Salzburg's old town, Mozartplatz. At the center of the square stands the famous statue of Salzburg's most celebrated resident, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Mozart was born here in Salzburg in 1756 and would go on to become one of the most influential composers in history. The gentle snowfall adds a magical quality to the square as locals and visitors begin their day beneath the watchful gaze of Salzburg's most famous son. Nearby stands Mozart's birthplace, a reminder that one of history's greatest musical minds began his journey in these very streets. A short walk brings us to University Square, known as University Platz. For centuries, this area has served as the center of academic life in Salzburg, home to the historic university founded in 1622. One feature that immediately catches the eye is the city's historic water system, which has supplied fresh alpine water to Salzburg for centuries. Nearby stands the magnificent Collegenkirche, or University Church. Stepping inside the magnificent reveals one of Salzburg's most striking interiors. Unlike many European churches filled with colorful decoration, the Collegenkirche features a brilliant white interior that creates an atmosphere of elegance, simplicity, and light. The church is considered one of the finest examples of Baroque architecture in Austria.
I'll just stand there.
We continue down Salzburg's most famous street, Gunderstrasse. The elaborate wrought iron signs hanging above the shops are among the city's most iconic sights. Originally designed so merchants could advertise their businesses to a largely illiterate population, these decorative signs have become a beloved symbol of Salzburg. Every sign seems to have its own personality and story. At the end of the street stands the beautiful Franciscan Church Salzburg, known locally as the Franziskanerkirche. Portions of the church date back more than 700 years. What makes this location especially memorable today is the stunning backdrop of snow-white mountains rising behind the church. It's a view that perfectly captures Salzburg's unique blend of history and alpine scenery. Soon we arrive at Kapitalsplatz. Here, a striking horse fountain stands against the dramatic cliffs of Mozart. The fountain celebrates Salzburg's long connection to horses and transportation throughout its history. The towering rock face behind it reminds visitors that Salzburg was literally built between mountains. From here, we hop aboard a city bus and enjoy a scenic ride through various neighborhoods before returning to the old town. Later this evening, we will be returning here for a special dinner reservation at restaurant Zum Elkenspiegel.
Where's our next bus? Where are we gonna get on next?
It says it's closed, but
Our next stop takes us beyond the city center to Hellbrunn Palace. Built in the early 1600s as a summer residence for Prince Archbishop Marcus Sidious, Hellbrunn is famous for its trick fountains and expansive grounds. Today, the Christmas market is still being prepared for the evening, but the setting is beautiful nonetheless. Natural fir trees decorated with red ornaments stand throughout the property while snowflakes drift softly through the air. The palace grounds feel peaceful and almost storybook-like in the winter weather. And we sure did enjoy seeing the gazebo from The Sound of Music, which was prominently featured at the entrance to the palace grounds. Continuing our Salzburg adventure, we embrace our inner Sound of Music fans. We're visiting the famous Do-Re-Mi steps and the gardens of Mirabell Palace. These are among the most recognizable filming locations from the beloved 1965 movie, The Sound of Music. It was here that Maria and the Von Trapp children sang and danced their way through the unforgettable song Do-Re-Mi. For movie lovers, standing here is a must-do Salzburg experience.
even in the wintertime, it's pretty gardens. The roses, there's still a few roses over there. See, this is where she ran down there was the roses, the rose vines covering the trellis.
No, Eden went on the
Snowing. That's it.
All right.
Returning toward the city center, we spot one of Salzburg's classic horse-drawn carriages making its way through the historic streets. These traditional flakers remain a popular way to experience the Old Town and add to the city's timeless atmosphere. We continue walking toward the Salzach River. The river has played a crucial role in Salzburg's history, helping transport the salt that gave the city its name. In fact, Salzburg literally means salt fortress. It's time for a well-deserved break at Café Tomaselli. Founded in 1705, it is widely considered Austria's oldest continuously operating coffee house. The display cases are filled with beautiful cakes and pastries. Choosing just one is nearly impossible. Today, I settled on a delicious cream torte and enjoyed a relaxing pause in one of Salzburg's most historic cafes. Back outside, the snowfall continues. The city looks completely different during daylight, and the fresh snow gives everything a soft, magical quality.
We came through here a couple of times last night, but it was very dark. This is the residence plots. Some kind of lottery ticket system thing. And we need to get my mug when we come back through later, but I'm sure we'll be back through. Up ahead of us is the Salzburg Cathedral. Ooh. Artist. That's a commitment, Michael. That's a commitment to that he's dressed like elf. See, there's the cathedral. All of the little houses, little villages, snow globes.
Now we're heading to one of Salzburg's most famous landmarks, Hohensalzburg Fortress. We board the fortress funicular and begin the steep climb above the city. Construction of the fortress began in 1077, making it one of the largest and best preserved medieval fortresses in Europe. As we rise higher, spectacular views begin unfolding beneath us.
Okay, we're up here at the fortress with our views. It's a little overcast, but you can see.
At the top, Salzburg stretches out in every direction. The domes, church towers, narrow streets, and surrounding mountains create one of the most impressive urban panoramas in Austria. Inside the fortress, we explore centuries of history.
It's overcast, but you can see the mountains. See the wall, the fortress wall here? You're fine.
One little thing.
The fortress served as both a military stronghold and a symbol of power for Salzburg's prince archbishops. One of the more unique exhibits is the Marionette Museum. Salzburg's puppet theater tradition dates back more than a century and remains recognized around the world.
Watch your step. This scene tells of the revolt in 1525. So, Michael, this is at the Hellbrunn Palace where we were earlier today. This is the fountain I was looking for that we never found.
Well, it looks like it's an open tornado.
There's the Von Trapp family.
If you were a cannon, this is what you would see.
Here on that. Is that?
We also discovered a charming Christmas market tucked inside the fortress courtyard. The combination of medieval walls, holiday decorations, and snowy weather creates an unforgettable atmosphere. After taking in more incredible views from various lookout points, we eventually board the funicular for the ride back down into the city.
Aren't you glad you came up here, though?
Yeah.
It's interesting up here, isn't it?
Well, definitely tell us off season.
I know. It's nice not having to fight crowds.
There may be snowflakes flying, but there's no.
Pretty nice. We got the whole fortress to ourselves, practically.
Back at street level, we visit the grounds of St. Peter's Abbey. Founded around the year 696, it is one of the oldest monasteries in the German-speaking world. The adjoining cemetery is considered one of the most beautiful in Europe. Its ornate wrought iron crosses, colorful flowers, and dramatic setting beneath the cliffs make it a peaceful and memorable place to explore. Fans of The Sound of Music may also recognize the cemetery from scenes inspired by the Von Trapp family story.
Very interesting, the tombs, isn't it? Inside of the church. Remember when we were in Prague and on the Charles Bridge, the statue of Saint Nepomuk, anyway, that's his picture. That's another one of him. See, with the stars around his head. St. John of Nepomuk.
Nearby, we discover one of Salzburg's historic water wheels. Powered by flowing alpine water, these wheels once provided energy for mills and workshops throughout the city. It's a reminder of how Salzburg harnessed natural resources long before the age of electricity.
Remember how they used to get people up and down with the water?
Back at the Domplatz Christmas market, I finally have my own Christmas market mug. Filled with warm Glühwein, Austria's traditional mulled wine, it becomes the perfect companion for a snowy afternoon stroll. The lights, music, aromas, and festive energy make this one of Europe's great Christmas market experiences.
The fortress. We just came from the Christmas market. Got my Glühwein and my Salzburg Christmas market mug.
You know what ice does to concrete?
Yeah. Well, they're along the waterfront. I think we can understand how these sundials work.
This evening we return to restaurant Zum Eulenspiegel. The building is especially noteworthy because Mozart once lived here during part of his Salzburg years. We're seated in a charming private dining room that feels wonderfully intimate. The dinner begins with salad and soup before moving on to hearty entrees. A rich beef stroganoff and a traditional pot roast prove to be the perfect comfort food after a day spent exploring snowy Salzburg. The food is excellent and the atmosphere unforgettable.
No, I'm sorry.
With dinner complete, we spend our final evening simply wandering through the city. The Christmas lights reflect off the snow-covered streets. The church towers glow against the dark sky. The Christmas markets remain lively, filled with music, laughter, and holiday cheer. Looking up, Hohensalzburg Fortress watches over the city from above, illuminated against the night. There's something magical about Salzburg after dark during the Christmas season. Perhaps it's the combination of history, music, mountains, and holiday traditions, or perhaps it's the feeling that every street corner could be part of a storybook. As our time in Salzburg comes to an end, it's easy to understand why this city consistently ranks among Europe's most beautiful destinations. From Mozart and medieval fortresses to Christmas markets and Sound of Music locations, Salzburg has given us an unforgettable experience. Tomorrow, we continue our journey, but today we're simply enjoying one last walk through this remarkable city. Good night from Salzburg, Austria. Until next time.
Tak,